Say, man, everybody is kind of a little bit forgetting about Diddy, man. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's been a lot going on in the news cycle. It's been a whole hell of a lot going on in hip-hop media and in the hip-hop culture. It's a lot of people falling victims to different RICOs, different cases, and getting jacked up out here, man. You dig what I'm saying? Now, Diddy has been over there silently racking up some wins. You dig what I'm saying? Now, this Billboard headline to this write-up reads, Sean Diddy Combs wins dismissal of Lil Rod's RICO claims, but case moves forward. The ruling dismissed sweeping accusations under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, but allowed claims of sexual assault and sex trafficking to go on. So his case ain't over with by a long shot, but the judge is saying that this case that Lil Rod brought is bogus. Now, this judge went in on Lil Rod and his attorneys, calling these allegations against Diddy a joke, shameless, irrelevant, and theatrical. You dig what I'm saying, man? This man went in on Lil Rod attorneys, even to the point of threatening sanctions against these attorneys that's working for Lil Rod in this case against Diddy. When a judge threatens sanctions against attorneys, you know he pissed off about the case that you brought in front of him. Let's get into this Variety write-up so we can get to the bottom of how this whole thing went down and unfolded in the courtroom, man. Let's get to the content. If you watching this video right now, man, and you like how we kick it over here at GuddaTV, man, why don't you do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notification bells, man. It won't cost you nothing. I promise you. Why don't you go ahead and do that for the boy and help the channel out. Appreciate you. A judge has granted and denied charges brought against Sean Diddy Combs in a $30 million lawsuit from former producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones alleging sexual assault. Jones initially filed his suit against Combs in New York in February 2024, stating that Combs made unwanted sexual advances and forced him to hire sex workers and engage in relations with them. Jones named Combs as well as a RICO enterprise consisting of his son, Justin, his chief of staff, Christina Carfram, Universal Music Group CEO, Lucian Grange, former Motown Records CEO, and numerous record labels, and Jane and John Doe's. He then refiled several amended complaints in the months that followed. But in an order filed earlier today, and reviewed by Variety, Judge J. Paul Otkin granted and denied parts of Combs' August 2024 motion to dismiss the case. The order also reprimanded Jones' attorney Tyrone Blackburn and described his conduct regarding the motion as unsettling. The judge dismissed the RICO Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, charged against Combs and Carfram in the case, failing to find a viable argument in Jones' opposition brief, and that it should not be necessary to root around a 402-paragraph complaint to contrive novel arguments on Jones's behalf. He also dismissed negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress claims, breach of contract claims, and the Trafficking Victims Protection Act TVPA claim against Combs Global. The TVPA, Trafficking Victims Protection Act, claims against Combs and Carfram were granted, and the judge declined to dismiss sexual assault and liability claims. The motion also issued a stern warning to Blackburn, which is Lil Rod's attorney, stating that his filings are replete with inaccurate statements of law, conclusory accusations, and inappropriate ad hominem attacks on opposing counsel. The judge referenced Blackburn's opposition brief and the complaint as full of irrelevant insults, misstatements, and exaggerations, stating that any further misconduct may lead to sanctions or referral for discipline. In a statement provided to Variety, Blackburn commented, "A win is a win. Playtime is over. Now it is time for discovery." Jones filed the suit in February 2024 after producing 6 songs on Combs' Grammy-nominated The Love album, Off the Grid, that released in September of 2023. He claims that Combs acquired, used, and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, and other illicit drugs, displayed illegal firearms, and laced alcoholic beverages provided to minors and sex workers at his various homes, among other allegations. After Jones filed 2 amended complaints, Combs filed his own motions to dismiss in August of 2024. Jones' second amended complaint is his third attempt to dress up a run-of-the-mill commercial disagreement as a salacious RICO conspiracy. Read the motion. Running to nearly 100 pages, it includes countless tall tales, shameless celebrity name drops, and irrelevant images. Yet despite all of its hyperbole and lurid theatrics, the SAC fails to state a single viable claim against any of the Combs defendants. Now look, I know everybody want Diddy ass to burn. You understand me? I know it. Everybody. But the evidence got to be there to fit the crime. You dig what I'm saying? That's how the justice system works. Just because you feel a type of way, and no, none of us like that. I damn sure didn't like what I seen in that video. What Diddy did to Cassie in that video at that hotel in California, that's you can't explain your way out of that. And I seen some headlines and some news where, Diddy was, they was going after CNN or somebody because they were saying that the video was altered. Whether they sped it up or slowed it down, nigga, that's still you. And that's still her. The event still happened. It don't matter if it was in slow motion or if they put it on high speed. Nigga, you still ran out the room half naked and jumped on the damn woman and beat her ass. That's what we all seen. And if they got more evidence like that to line up with these allegations, that's going to be hard to beat. And so it is what it is at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, a lot of this stuff going to get thrown out because these folks, it's a lot of folks out here that's thirsty that dig in Diddy pockets. And I mean, let's face it, bro. Like, I mean, look at Busby. Now he running for his life because Jay on his ass. Jay ain't about to let him just ride off into the sunset. And he got put off a lot of cases that he been trying to look in on. Busby got other folks, other attorneys about to lose their damn bar license because he doing a whole bunch of underhand shit. So it's stuff like that that's gonna help Diddy. Stuff like that is gonna benefit Diddy in the long run. Because when you start having all of these judges feel this kind of way about the allegations and the cases that's being brought against Diddy and speaking out and trying to threaten sanctions against attorneys and things like that, bro, he's sitting there looking at a bunch of bullshit. Like, bro, you keep on coming in here with stuff like this, I'm going to refer you to be disciplined. And that discipline, he talking about the Bar Association. You dig what I'm saying? So these folks got to be real careful and tread lightly. If the evidence is there to fit the crime, okay, cool. And if Diddy he gonna have to work with that. He gonna have to explain that. He gonna have to, his defense attorney's they're gonna have to get to the business. But if they come in there with a whole bunch of allegations and ain't got no proof, this man is not gonna get the time a lot of people thinking he gonna get. Do it look bad? Yeah, it look bad, bro, because it's a whole lot. It's a whole avalanche of stuff that's done came out, and a whole avalanche of allegations, and the wall-to-wall news coverage do paint a real gruesome picture of Diddy. But if the evidence don't fit the crimes that they're alleging, this man is not gonna go to jail and spend the rest of his life in prison like a lot of people think it is. And so that's all I'm saying. If he get caught up, he get caught up. That's on him. And he gonna have to do his dance and try to figure out how he can get out of it, or try to use his money and use his leverage to get the best outcome he can in this situation But if you got people steady running in here, bro, and y'all ain't got the goods, bro, to really bury this man, it's not gonna happen, bro. And I see a lot of people out here, oh, you got these charges dismissed, but he's still going to jail for life. Okay, he might. He might. They may have enough to put him away for 20 or 30 years. I don't know. But you got to understand, bro, that it's a lot of people want to take a bite out of Diddy. And you know, for monetary gain, they trying to get the bag. I don't even think a lot of these folks really care how much time he get, as long as they could chisel away at his wealth, because that's all we've been seeing going on to this point, because the trial don't start until May. So everything that we've heard up until now, it really don't even matter. It really don't, in the grand scheme of things. Where the rubber meets the road is when when this trial start, when this evidence and these witnesses start coming out and testifying in the court of law. That's when shit really gonna get real. And yeah, he racking up some wins, and good for him, but he still got a hell of a lot to contend with when he go to court. But this is another thing: the lighter he is when his trial start, the better off he gonna be, because he got less things he got to try to defend. So, you know, the more stuff he can get thrown out, the better for him. That's just the way it is. Whether you want him to be locked up or not, the lighter he is going into trial, the better off he gonna be, because he ain't got all of this baggage that he had when the allegations first hit the news, and when the RICO first hit him. He had a shitstorm of stuff coming out, and it was crazy. Now it's getting closer and closer to trial, and you know, they starting to tamp down and kind of trim the fat on a lot of this stuff, bro. And if he go in there with a handful of things that he got to fight, and it could very well go his way. I get at y'all in the next one, man. Y'all be smooth. I'm out.